All right, I guess first off, we're 6 days away. Things have really heated up in this race. It's gotten tighter. We've had the debates. Things have gotten more contentious. Kind of, what are you feeling as we're heading into the final week, and this is the final stretch, and it really does seem like a toss-up to some people.
Well, you know, we always knew this would be a close race. I mean, from day one, I was telling people don't pay attention to those double-digit polls. They're not real, and they weren't. We've been focused, though, on doing our job, delivering results for the people of our state. Biggest investment in public education, massive investment in economic development. These are the jobs of the future, rebuilding roads and protecting rights. And that's really what we've been focused on while we've been campaigning as well. I can tell you there's a lot of great energy out there. We've been having fun on the road. We love people. That's why we do this work. And so engaging to make sure that we stay focused on what's really going to make people's lives better. And that's what we'll do with another 4 years.
Have you seen anything change maybe at these stops or as you're going around to places? As it seems like your opponent is catching up and she's getting on TV more and there is more noise around her name recognition. Have you heard different from anybody else?
You know, not really. I mean, I think people are fired up, and we always expected, you know, this race to get closer toward the end, and that's exactly what's happening. There's no surprise there from our perspective. We just got to make sure that we, you know, remind people you can vote right now. You can still register to vote and cast your ballot in advance of this election, and we encourage people to do that. Your voice is incredibly important, and your vote is your voice. It's the will of the people who decide their leaders, and that's why every person has one vote, no matter how much money you got in your pocket, no matter what part of the state you're from. Rural Michigan, northern Michigan has been a huge priority for us. We want people to remember to get out and vote. It's a high-stakes election.
And as an incumbent, you have a target because you have your record that they can point at, and doesn't have much of a record as your opponent, but you do have things she has said in the past on TV to an audience. It's been kind of divisive, to be easy about it. I mean, is it frustrating that it seems like those aren't hitting and hanging like they probably should, like some of the things that have been thrown at you?
Well, I think it's important for people to know, you know, what do you bring to the job? Where have you been? What have you actually done? Someone who peddles conspiracy theories, like telling people that a vaccine carries the mark of the beast. You know, she said that they might have government trackers in them. I mean, is this kind of dangerous rhetoric that endangered lives in the middle of the pandemic? The kind of most recent revelations about her thoughts about American history, and it's just scary. It's wrong, it's dangerous, and I think people do need to understand, what have you done? Where have you been? We got a record we're running on. Biggest investment in public education in Michigan history. The incredible work we've done to put 170,000 Michiganders on a tuition-free path to a good paying job. The huge investments we've had in advanced mobility and bringing supply chains home, building semiconductors here. The Big Rapids investment from Goshen is going to change the community forever in a way that upgrades and improves the quality of every person's life. This is the stuff that really matters. This is what we've been doing. The other side has no record, and what they have done is contribute to conspiracy theories and misinformation and violent rhetoric, and I think that's incredibly dangerous.
I want to ask you about the schools debate that came out, or the issue that came out of the debate. They're really hanging their campaign on that. You're 3 months. Do you want to clarify anything?
Of course. I mean, she was accusing me of closing down schools for 2 years, and that's just flat out wrong. Under my order, schools were out for 3 months, and then it went to the local districts who had to make decisions based on what was happening with COVID, based on parent consultation. I mean, that's how it was. That's just the facts. Certainly there were we saw some increases in COVID, and there was a pause encouraged, but the general rule that, you know, you got to be honest about what you accuse someone of, and I needed to correct the record.
And then Goshen, I wanted to bring that up too. It's in our viewing area. When the state is looking to bring in these investments, be so competitive, it is so cutthroat out there, they're pointing to the Chinese origins of this company. The company says we're tri-owned by US, Germany, and China. Is that ever an issue where these companies are coming from when you are looking to bring these investments into the state, or are we just bringing who wants to come?
This is a company that is building long-range batteries. This is the future of automotive, manufacturing. This is where we are headed. They were being courted by a lot of states all across the country. We won that race, and we've locked in really good paying jobs. You talk to the barber in Big Rapids, thrilled at what this is going to mean for the community. The superintendent. This is going to be really good paying jobs that are innovating this important industry. We'll have so much spin-off investment in the community and in northern Michigan. This is going to be a great thing, not just for Big Rapids, but for all of northern Michigan. That's what we're focused on. We're not just creating jobs in one part of the state or another. This is about making Michigan competitive, creating paths to wealth for every person in this state. And so when we are competing with the rest of the country, my opponent would suggest we have no economic development tools. We will lose every competition if she's governor with that philosophy. What we have done is announce record investment, and we are leading now where Michigan was considered a laggard before. We got to win this decade or we will be left behind for a generation, and we are winning now. It's time to put our foot on the accelerator.
And final question, and you can chime in this one too. You've worked in politics your whole career. You took over the governorship 4 years ago. You were going against someone who's an outsider. Lieutenant Governor didn't have the extensive record you had when he took office. What have you learned in the last 4 years, or what is it about this job where experience matters, where it's not something that you can just come off the street and think you can do better than someone that knows what they're doing?
Well, Eric, if you were going to go get your car brakes fixed, you'd want someone who'd done it before, right? Because your life is on the line. Same is true for every walk of life and state government. It's a $74 billion operation in charge of making sure that we're doing the work for 10 million people. This is not just a run-of-the-mill job. This is one where lives are on the line. We've had to weather so many crises. We've come out the other side, and Michigan's come out swinging. We are now leading in terms of economic recovery. There is more good work to do, but I think that this is a serious job that needs a leader who can solve problems and work with anybody to make sure that Michigan is always the first and foremost concern. Not myself, not my political party, but the people of Michigan, and that's what we've done for 4 years. That's what we will continue to do. The other side is an unknown prospect without bringing a lot of experience to the moment, and I think that would be a huge mistake for our state.
In addition to experience matters, integrity matters, and we've seen the kind of rhetoric, the lies, the conspiracy theories from our components. These are people who we cannot trust with the ton of power to contribute to people's lives here in the state of Michigan. But the governor and I, we've demonstrated that we're looking out for everyone's best interests in every part of the state of Michigan. People can trust us and trust our record and trust our results, and that's what's going to make a difference going forward, and that's the choice between the voters have.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks, Eric.